All right, everybody, this is Dan Tomaszewski here. Hope everybody is doing well. We'll just wait just another moment here as a few more people roll into the room. Hope everybody is doing great, not dealing with all the ice that we have here in Michigan, but I think it hit quite a bit of the Midwest. So I'm sure there's quite a few that have been dealing with that as well. All right, everybody, we're going to kick it off. Again, this is Dan Tomaszewski with Everything MSP, and I want to thank you all for being here today. We are doing our second elevator pitch, and this is an idea that we've had in the vault for a couple years now. We have a lot of great stuff up our sleeves, and little by little, we're pulling them out, and like a magician, little joke there, right? So again, thank you for being here. The whole concept of elevator pitch is, as MSPs, there are so many products and services out there for our businesses to help us be more efficient, more productive, more profitable. And the key is trying to figure out what is a good fit for your business, for your clients. And so what we've done is we are bringing in different vendors each month. Each vendor will have 10 minutes to go over, tell you all about their business, what their business can do for you. And at the end of our session here, after each of the three go through, we will go into demo rooms. And the demo rooms will basically give you the ability to learn a little bit more about them, ask questions, just have more of that one-on-one time. Now in Zoom, right at the bottom of your screen, and we'll go over this a little bit as well, you'll see a button that, and I believe it's the More button, that has the breakout rooms or the demo rooms that you'll be able to go into. You can choose which demo room you want to go into, and you can bounce back and forth between the different demo rooms. So you might want to spend a little bit of time with one particular vendor and then bounce over to the other, and you're welcome to do that. Now, if you do have any issues getting, knowing where to get into the breakout rooms, just message us and Talon can assist you. Also, anybody that doesn't select a demo room, what we're going to do is we'll put you in a room. We'll just randomly select one of the three vendors, put you in that room, and you can jump wherever you want to from there. So without further ado, I want to get things started. But first off, I'm going to pull in our, take myself off a spotlight here. And we're going to pull in our vendors. And it looks like I'm still spotlighted. Go to. Well, what it will do, I'll have Talon take the spotlight off of me. So we have three vendors here with us. We've got IT Glue. We got Thomas Griffith from IT Glue. Welcome, Thomas. How you doing?
Hello, Dan. I'm doing good. Nice to meet everyone here. Excellent.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Next, we have Michael Lawson with MoveBot. Michael is he's in New Zealand. He's on the other side of the world. So thank you, Michael, for being here, getting up extra early to participate in elevator pitch. So we appreciate that.
All right, thanks for coming, guys.
And last but not least, we have Mark Yap, and Mark is with Sophos. How you doing today, Mark?
Doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me here, live from Vancouver.
Awesome, very cool. So we're going to get started. We're going to go in alphabetical order. So we're going to start with IT Glue. And so what we're going to do is we will spotlight Thomas right now. And Thomas, you have 10 minutes. We're going to start the timer. You're going to be able to jump in and tell us all about IT Glue.
Alrighty, awesome. Well, thank you, Dan, and thank you everyone for being here today. If anyone wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can scan the code on the screen, but looks like you guys are stuck with me here for the next 7 or 8 minutes. So hopefully I do a good job. But a little bit about me. I'm our lead sales engineer here at IT Glue. I've been here for just over a year and have been in the SaaS space for just about 4 years. And enough about me. Let's talk here about IT Glue. So who are we and what do we do in the world of documentation? So a little bit of IT Glue lore. Before IT Glue was IT Glue, we were actually an MSP. Our founder was sick and tired of doing IT documentation in the traditional way of having multiple tools for password management, knowledge base, and asset management, all siloed into multiple tools. So he decided to build IT Glue from the ground up. Fast forward 10 years to today, and we have amassed over 200 IT Glue users and about 13,000 MSPs. Now, before I get into everything IT Glue, I always like to see where everyone's head is at and what does IT documentation mean to you? It often means something different for everyone is what we've seen. Most say it's SOPs, policies, procedures, that sort of thing. But what they really need is also an inventory of all their assets, users, and also passwords. I can tell you that about 99% of our partners say they hate documentation. They know they need it, but it's painful. IT documentation is one of those things where you know it's important, but it still falls to the back burner. I don't know if we have any Breaking Bad fans here, but it doesn't matter if the documentation's all in your head or if it's in multiple systems and only a couple of people know where to find it. Either way, it's unsustainable, unreliable, and insecure, and really not much value to anyone who's new. But the challenge is all of this information you need to do your job is all siloed. You have passwords in a password manager, your inventory of assets in an Excel spreadsheet, and your SOPs are in SharePoint or sometimes on your local desktop, which leads to technical debt, both on the cost of the tool, but also the ongoing maintenance cost and the challenge of siloed tools. And what ends up happening is no one has a single source of truth, and it makes it very difficult for you to understand how all of these play together in order for you to support your companies or clients. So where does IT Glue come into this? Well, IT Glue helps bring order to your information chaos, and it does this by consolidating all of your information into one centralized, easily searchable solution with out-of-the-box IT templates. So you aren't bouncing between at least 4 different tools to find information. You don't have to worry about one of your team members holding all the knowledge in their head, or what if one of your best techs goes on vacation, or worse, leaves the company, that knowledge walks away with them and that knowledge is forever lost. And unfortunately, IT has a huge turnover. So when you onboard the next technician, often they're starting from scratch and spend all of their time reinventing the wheel. And lastly, when everything is stored in these silo tools, insufficient security and controls put your clients at risk. Now, how are we actually doing this? Well, it's really 3 things. We're consolidating, standardizing, and automating your IT documentation into a single source of truth. So let's break that down. Consolidation. This is bringing all of your IT documentation into one single pane of glass, which reduces the amount of tabs you have open and also allows you to provide contextual value to objects in IT Glue. For example, if I'm looking at a server in IT Glue, I can have a picture attached, and now I know where the server is on the server rack, maybe how it's configured, wired, and so on. From there, I can have my admin password related in, which is now just one click away. Maybe I've just received a request to reboot this server. Well, related in, I can have all the applications that live on this server and whether or not those applications are mission critical. From there, I need to know how to reboot this machine. Well, instead of searching through SharePoint or Confluence, I can have related in a document on how to actually reboot this machine. The second one here is standardization. So having a process that's repeatable for all technicians in an MSP is important. That way, no matter who is documenting information, it's all in the same format and everyone's coming back with the exact same information. That is why IT Glue comes with out-of-the-box templates that help standardize things like network documentation, application information, and licensing, or for that matter, really anything that you want to document. Now, the last one here is automation. We don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to IT documentation, and that's why IT Glue comes out of the box with over 60 native integrations with the most popular remote management tools, PSA and ticketing tools, as well as things like Microsoft 365, Azure, Intune, and BrightGauge. We also have natively integrated tools like Network Glue that automate network documentation and help you build a full master list of all your assets. Combine all of this with an open API, and automating IT documentation has never been easier. So really, to put it simply, IT Glue is a knowledge management solution that consolidates and standardizes assets, passwords, user information, and SOPs all into one single pane of glass. Now, currently, we have our best offer of the year. That's our February deal that gives you 3 months of IT Glue for $1. If you're interested in this offer or anything else IT Glue related, feel free to join me in the breakout room. And I think that went pretty quickly, but that's all from me. And thank you everyone for joining. And hopefully you've learned something about IT Glue today. And back over to you, Dan.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Thomas. I appreciate that. And documentation is so important in our businesses in order to, first and foremost, to be consistent with our offering, and also just the whole speed of service delivery. Trying to, provide support for, any of our clients needs to be done in a quick and efficient manner. And the whole ability to be able to look that up is just key and critical for the success of our businesses. But it's also great from a morale perspective, because our team, in the face of our clients, don't want to look bad. And so when they have quick access to information, that's just putting them in a great light. So again, thank you, Thomas. And before we move on to Michael Lawson with MoveBot, I just wanted to mention one other thing too. We do have a drawing at the end of our event today. It's $250 hard cold cash. And one of you who is currently attending our event for within Zoom, you are eligible to be one of the winners of the $250. That will be at the end. You do have to be present to win. So just make sure you're here all the way with us. If you're out there in streaming world, I know we have quite a few people watching us on Facebook streaming. Feel free to still register and you can join us in the Zoom session. All right, now without further ado, our next presenter is Michael Lawson with MoveBot. And Michael, how are you doing today?
It's a bit early for me, so I'm still a bit grumpy, but I've been in the office for a couple of hours to sort of get over that hitch. It's only 9 a.m. Here in New Zealand, and I'm sort of an evening kind of person.
That's awesome. 9 a.m. is definitely you're on the other side of the world, right? So
yep, can't get much further away than this, I think.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick it off for you. We will set the timer. You have 10 minutes and we will start now.
Cool. I'm a bit of a wobbler, so 10 minutes may not be easy for me. But yeah, my name is Michael Lawson. Thanks everyone for coming, and I hope this is useful for you. I'm one of the founders of CouchDrop, which is the sister company for, well, the company that sort of built MoveBot. So who are we? We're just a bit of an introduction on the company. We're obviously a Kiwi tech company, which is a bit unusual. We're based in Christchurch, New Zealand, but we have customers pretty much everywhere in the world, and we build data moving tools, or at least that's where we've ended up. We're probably the youngest company out of the bunch today. It's very, very, very important when you're interacting with Kiwis not to confuse us with Australians. There is quite a bit of water between here and Aussie, and we are just sort of on the bottom there, a little smidgen on the map. And you should come visit us, because it's a much nicer country, and there's lots to do here. So we've been around since 2018. And we have partners and customers globally. Probably 65 to 70% of our customers are in the US, and the rest are in Europe and Asia. And there's a couple floating around here. So CouchDrop, just a bit of a backstory with the company. CouchDrop started off solving a very simple issue with SCP in the cloud. And so the premise was basically that SCP and SFTP are really, really strong tools. I would hope everyone here is familiar with them and uses them sort of on a day-to-day basis, but combined with pet servers, they're a real problem. So you end up with data leaks, you end up with confidential information being on people's servers at home and whatnot. And CouchDrop was created as a sort of niche little tool to help techies move that data around and turn SCP from a tool which is a real risk to MSPs and to organizations into something that can actually be used safely. And so we built SCP to work in with Dropbox. That was the initial thing, or the initial product. And we popped it out there, a bit of an open source sort of project, and then discovered that a whole raft of companies were using it. And so commercialized it, turned it into a bit of a SaaS service. And then we discovered people were using SFTP and SCP to migrate data, which is probably one of the crazier things I've ever seen. And so we started looking at this problem of data migration, both from server to server, but more importantly from sort of server to cloud or cloud to cloud. And it was fairly badly served. If you've got terabytes of data and you need to get it from a server into SharePoint or into Dropbox or Google Drive, it can be quite challenging to do that. These systems are very disparate and they don't talk together or talk well together at all normally. And often migration projects are sort of at the last minute. And so we looked at this and thought, well, SFTP is definitely not the solution to that. That's a bit crazy. Let's see whether we can take some of this technology that we've built and turn it into a migration tool. And so MoveBot was born. And CouchDrop's still there. So if you need SFTP or SCP into SharePoint or Dropbox, then we are definitely the crew for that. But we built MoveBot, and so MoveBot kind of solves and simplifies what I would describe as probably the most boring task in IT management. No one's talking about moving data at the pub, and it's always the last minute sort of thing. So MoveBot, and in essence, will scan, which is very important, map and transfer data between around 30 to, we're probably going on 40 different cloud platforms and different server platforms. The most common for us tends to be movement between SharePoint and Google Drive at the moment. Not in either direction, just they're both sort of even. And then on-prem, of course, there's a lot of companies who are trying to get data off old servers. And yeah, so the thing that makes sort of MoveBot really powerful, really interesting, is it's completely cloud-based. There's no servers involved. And we move terabytes of data a day under a single transfer. And so speed, is really, really crucial. Migration projects are always last minute. They are always underestimated. And so if a transfer is taking weeks or months to pull across, it just doesn't work for anyone. The sort of record that we've seen so far is around 150 terabytes with a single transfer in a single day. And so when you get sort of scale and you get multiple transfers and whatnot going, it can be quite a lot of data. And typically we find customers have got around 20 to 30 terabytes as kind of a typical number. And the third thing that sort of makes MoveBot so good is we deal with all the quirks, I would say. So permissions, versions, invalid file names, metadata, team drives, the works. If you're coming out of Google Drive and you're going into SharePoint, Google Drive allows you to do pretty much anything you want. You can have a file name with a / in it. Of course, most sane systems don't let you do that, and SharePoint being one of them. So you've got to sanitize that data before you can actually bring it across. And we look after all of that for you, and we give you a really good idea as to what's going to happen during the migration prior to it. And as I said, like we basically support everyone. It's very rare now that we get asked about a new platform. I think the latest platform that we're building out support for that will probably be available by the end of the week is BIM 360. So the CAD file system. So we're starting to see some companies want to move data in and out of that platform. And yeah, so we're adding to it pretty much monthly. And if there's something missing, we're always keen to sort of engage with MSPs and add it into the equation. Not tracking time. So the big thing we found with migrations or with data transfers was, of course, pricing. And at the time when we entered the market, we were the competition in some aspect or some areas was charging around $2, $2.50 a gig. And the volume of data that people are wanting to move is just constantly going up. And so we set out to sort of create a pricing model which was actually attainable to companies. And the public pricing sort of starts at around 39 cents a gig for things like SharePoint Dropbox migrations. And if you're looking at object storage migrations like S3 into Azure files, this sort of stuff, it's a lot lower. As MSPs, you get significant discount on this with our partner program as well. And so, reach out and we can chat about pricing. But it's really just pay as you go. There's no subscription. You don't have to buy a licensing fee or buy a license to use the product. And as some of you hopefully will see in the demo, it's really just push, click, go. And away you go. We are a small Kiwi company, but we're not small in terms of impact. So we have a lot of customers, especially in the MSP space in the US and the UK and Europe. We are Dropbox partners, we're Microsoft partners, we're Google partners, and I'd say the more important thing is we're moving petabytes of data per month. It's always impressive at the end of the month when we do sort of a bit of a monthly overview to see how much data we've actually pushed through the platform, and it's just growing each month. So very exciting times for us. I think people are always going to be moving data. So there's this constant shift between different platforms all the time. And yeah, so our partners get a free terabyte of data on sign up, and we sort of give you the opportunity to use the tool, to figure it out, to understand it, to run a few migrations with your customers if need be, and really get familiar with it. I think that's me. I've probably gone a bit too fast there, actually, which is unusual.
You did a great job. Appreciate that. And thank you for getting up extra early today to be here with us. So, moving data is, it's always a challenging thing. We're in the process of, we talk about server to server, but we're living in a different world where we're trying to move data out to the cloud. And having a utility like this to help make that easier is key. And again, we have clients that are counting on us to make the migration process smooth and seamless for them. And having a tool like this is really, a very helpful thing. So, Michael, thank you for being here. And we are up next. We have Sophos. We have Mark joining us. One thing before Mark joins us here, I just wanted to mention that we will have a poll after Mark is done with his presentation, and just before we jump into the demo rooms, we will have a poll that you can fill out. If you would like to get more information from any of these vendors, you can just check the box for each of them, or whichever one you want, and they will reach back out to you. So with that being said, we have our good friend Mark here. Mark, how you doing?
Doing very well, thanks. Thanks for having me here today, Dan, and thanks for everybody for giving me this opportunity to present. I just realized my hat, shirt, my background, and my slides are so blue. I look like I'm from the movie Avatar. So
that's awesome. You are the Soul Blue Man Group.
I am the Soul Blue Man Group. Yeah, just helping MSPs one product at a time. So who's ready to talk about cybersecurity? So today, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sophos, who we are, what we do, how we help our MSPs protect their end customers, and also our MSP Connect Flex program. I want to share how MSPs are making and generating more revenue by consolidating their cybersecurity as a system, and then also augmenting their security stack with some of the services that we offer here at Sophos. So let's get right down to it. For those of you who don't really know who we are and what we do, we've been around for a little while here. So been around since 1985, originally in the UK. We're a US company headquartered in Santa Clara, California. And we've grown a lot over the years, as you can see. As a company, we do have a really large global presence, and we do have healthy growth, 17% year over year, as you can see there. One really cool thing I want to talk about is the MSP program and our services portfolio are growing at about 3x the rate as the entire company. And you'll see why as we go through this presentation. For MSPs who need help, who want to have their security stack augmented with our services, we have the largest MDR service in the world with over 15,000 unique customers on it right now. Even though we sell services, we are 100% channel. So we're not selling any of our products, tools, security solutions, or services directly to end customers. It's going through you guys, through our partners. We service customers of all shapes and sizes, from mom and pop shops all the way to the Fortune 100. But when you really look at our product portfolio, how we go to market, how we price and license, the ease of management and all the above, we're very, very MSP and SMB friendly. So keep that in mind when you're looking at our products. We all know the MSP opportunity for MSPs is absolutely massive. And when you compare it to any other IT opportunity and you combine it with cybersecurity, it's very, very profitable. I love this quote here. It's a little bit wordy, but Peter Forsberg from Gartner basically says that cybersecurity is too complicated. It's becoming so complex, it moves too fast. And how are we going to fill this gap? Well, it's through our MSP partners and our service providers like Sophos. The vast majority of organizations just find it way too difficult to manage their cybersecurity on their own. So let's talk about how Sophos can help with that. I want you to think about 3 key themes when you think about Sophos and our MSP program: one vendor, one management platform, and one flexible program. So just like IT Glue, talking about consolidation, so Thomas did a really good job talking about the importance of consolidation. It's very important in cybersecurity as well. We're taking a different approach here, from having so many different tools and services working in isolation, not sharing information, and having so many different multiple management consoles that are built separately. It's becoming very hard to manage your cybersecurity. At Sophos, we're delivering cybersecurity as a system that works together, they share information, and they're all compatible by design. In the breakout room, I'm going to show you what our centralized management console looks like, so you can see how this actually works in practice. We didn't invent the layers of security methodology here. Some would credit it to the guy from Home Alone, right? He protected his house with so many different layers of security, and we're looking to do the same here at Sophos. The best way to protect your fortress is to have many different elements that protects all the different gaps and loopholes the bad guys are trying to exploit. We want to avoid this tool sprawl. Many MSPs have 8 or 9 or 20, sometimes 30 different security partnerships. That's so many different types of management consoles, pricing sheets, certifications, support teams, you name it. It's becoming so complex. We want to help you centralize your security, layer them together, and have the products work together in unison, sharing information. We have all our products managed in Sophos Central, where you can have as many as, there's no limit. You can have over 1,000 unique customers in your portal, and you can mix and match all the different security tools and products and services we have to achieve whatever security outcome you want to achieve for your end customers. There's no minimum, there's no maximum. This is a really busy slide, but it just goes to show the breadth and depth of security that we can offer here at Sophos. We have an endpoint, network, cloud, and email security group. They all work together, they all share threat intelligence, they're all analyzed together in our data lake and through our threat intelligence layer. So not only is it easier to manage when you're centralizing your cybersecurity, it just works better because our endpoint security will speak to our firewall. It'll share intelligence with the email layer, the switches, our phish threat product, and you name it. So not only is it easier to manage, we're closing those gaps and loopholes because the firewall and the other layers of security know what all the other layers are doing. And then at the very top, you get to decide, do we get Sophos to help manage it, or do we acquire the tools and manage it ourselves? So we empower you as the MSP to make that decision. And you can mix and match depending on the needs of your end customer. One management platform, I'm going to dive into this a little bit more during the breakout session, but we have one management platform. All the customers, all the products are all in there. We don't have separate management consoles for the different layers of security. And as you saw in the previous slide, we have over 20 products that we offer to our MSP partners. One flexible program. So I'm going to fly through this. This is how we price and license. We price based on active consumption on a monthly basis. So monthly recurring revenue, you never have to get a quote. billing is based on what's active on a monthly basis only. No minimum quantities, no term agreements. It's all strictly month to month based on what's active in your console in a given month. You can deploy anytime. Because you don't need quotes, you can deploy Christmas or Thanksgiving. And as you know, with security, sometimes you just need to be secure. Sometimes your customers need to be secured. If there's a breach happening, you can deploy our products immediately, and then you get billed for it based on what's active. So you never have to reach out to your distributor or your Sophos rep to get a quote and acquire the product, apply the license key, and then deploy. You go ahead and deploy, and we'll bill you based on your consumption. You can also convert term licenses. We have a term channel as well, where you can sell 1, 2, and 3-year licenses. You can easily and seamlessly convert it to monthly billing. Same products, no redeployment. We do give you a very detailed monthly usage file, and we give tiered discounts across all your customers and across all the different products as the MSP. And finally, we do have a lot of different integrations, including RMM, SIM, PSA tools to help you with invoicing, ticketing, managing, and automating your security business with Sophos. We only have a few minutes left, but I wanted to touch on our cybersecurity as a service portfolio. So the 2 key themes today, cybersecurity as a system working together, and also us providing services through our MSP partner program to help augment your services. So you don't have to build out that security team in-house. The cornerstone of our services is managed detection and response, MDR. So we all know the cybersecurity challenge is huge and it's growing. It's becoming so complex, like we talked about earlier. The threats are increasing in sophistication and volume. More and more small companies are being targeted. Tools alone can't protect organizations adequately anymore because they buy the tools, they don't know how to use it, or they're not maximizing it. It's also very hard to find experts in cybersecurity, and that's where we can help. So the solution to all this is cybersecurity as a service. Out of the box, our MSPs can deliver the people, the technology, and the processes to their end customers without having to build out their own team or becoming an MSSP. So we can monitor your customer environments 24/7, threat hunt, and in the event that there's a ransomware attack or anything malicious in your customer's environment, guess what? Even if it's at midnight, Christmas, or Thanksgiving, Sophos will respond to these threats on your behalf while you're sipping on a beer, having a proper vacation, and sleeping well at night. I love this quote as well. You wouldn't build your own antivirus product, so why do your own threat hunting? This actually came from one of our partners, and it's a really good quote because he's saying, instead of building our own security operations center and providing that incident response and that threat hunting capability on my own and having to build out that team, I'm going to rent time in Sophos's security operations center instead. We have 500 strong just on our security operations center team here at Sophos. So MDR is a 24/7 service delivered by experts who specialize in detecting and responding to cyber attacks. So there's really 2 options. MSPs could set this up on their own in-house, or they can outsource it to Sophos. So just like how your end customers are outsourcing security to you as their service provider, you can now outsource that out to Sophos and deliver it like it's your service. Some additional benefits of MDR. Most of us know you can't build a security operations team overnight. It's super difficult. But overnight with our MDR service, you can have a 24/7 monitoring, threat hunting, and incident response service without needing to build out that team. If you have a lean service delivery team, you can still advertise that you can have these capabilities for your end customers and grow your business. Customers are demanding SOC as a service. So by 2025, Gartner predicts 50% of organizations will use an MDR service. So that should make everybody on this call happy, because vendors like Sophos, we provide the service, but we do not sell direct. We're going to go through you, one of our channel partners, to deliver this service for us, and you're going to be making money through this service. You can spend more time to grow your business instead of focusing on that monitoring, threat hunting, and incident response. Put that responsibility on us. We just released a brand new warranty on our MDR service as well. If your customers get breached, we will actually provide a warranty to help pay for the breach. We don't expect many claims on that, to be honest with you, but it's a really good guarantee, and it shows the confidence that we have in our services. Many of you are being asked about cyber insurance. It is a pain in the you know what. It's very hard to qualify for cyber insurance. It is becoming very difficult to have lower insurance premiums as well. And our products and services do help lower cyber insurance premiums. You have access to 24/7 threat experts. You can call us anytime with our MDR service. And last but not least, it helps you and the customer sleep better at night, knowing that we're there monitoring your environment 24/7. I'm going to fly through this with the respective time, but we have really good ratings. I love the peer insights because these are rated by customers and partners who actually spend money on our products, not by just the testing houses. And then how do you become a Sophos partner? I can send the link here, but if you go on our website, you can put in a partner application and one of our local MSP specialists will reach out to you and help you onboard throughout the process, or you can proactively reach out to us as well. And we're more than happy to set up a call or walk you through the MSP program and all the different tool set and services that we provide here at Sophos. So thank you so much for allowing me to present. I know I flew through it. Always happy to jump on another call for more detail. And I'll pass it back to you, Dan.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Great job. I appreciate your time today. Security is such a critical thing. In fact, I was just speaking to a client yesterday, and he had got back from a conference, their CPA firm, and of course, they were talking a lot about security. One of the things I mentioned to him is, security is not a choice, and sometimes it's not convenient, but it's better than the alternative of a security incident happening. And this particular client said, if we were to have a security incident, I would retire, because we spoke about the ramifications. He's learned about a lot of the ramifications at this conference. And so it's real. So it's something that we can't ignore. And so from here, we're going to move on, and we're going to put a poll out right now. So we'll have a few minutes. We'll have the poll out, and basically you can select, 1, 2, or all 3 vendors that you want to learn more about, and go ahead and do that. As a reminder as well, stay with us till the end. We have $250 cash that will be given away to a lucky winner. And next up, we're going to open up our demo rooms, our breakout rooms, as we should call them in Zoom. And what will happen is we're going to open them up. You'll have the opportunity to pick whatever demo room that you want to go into, and you can, like I said, bounce back and forth between them. So feel free to move around as you wish. If you don't select one, we will select one for you. We'll put you in one randomly at the end. So we'll put out a 2-minute warning. And then once that 2 minutes is up, we'll bring everybody back into the main room here for us to do the wrap up and the drawing. So in order to get to the demo rooms, once we have them opened up here, you'll be able to click the 3 dots where it says more in the bottom right-hand side of your screen in Zoom, and you'll be able to get into the demo rooms right there. Sure enough, if you do have any questions, please just let us know, and either myself or Talon will answer them for you if you have any questions about getting into the demo rooms. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our demo rooms, everybody.